Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you today? How are you today? High five for those who joined on time. Can I have some high five from you on the chat box, please? High five, folks. Can I have some high five? That's very good. Okay, so today we are going to continue with the technical writing part. So yesterday I introduced to you the concept of technical writing, where we learned how to do a simple report and a corresponding documentation, right? Today we are going to learn a little bit more. Okay, we are going to learn a little bit on how to think in terms of documentation. Yesterday, for the documentation, I just started off with a flow diagram. I taught you how to use a flow diagram, right? So today we are going to work on how to use the flow diagram concept to develop into a detailed documentation. Okay. So anyone who is new to today's class, who have not attended yesterday's class, anyone who is new, if you are new to today's class and you have not attended the previous class, please raise your hands so that I can decide whether I have to review or not. Okay, Gayatri has not attended yesterday's class. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else who has not attended yesterday's class? Okay. So it's only Gayatri. Gayatri, the recordings will be available in Open Mentor. Karthi, are you there?
Yeah, ma'am.
Karthi, is yesterday's session recording available on Open Mentor?
Ma'am, we are asking the topics, ma'am, waiting for the topics name.
Okay, so it will be available in Open Mentor, no, Karthi?
Actually, tonight it's come, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Okay, so Gayatri, the recording for yesterday's session will be available in Open Mentor site probably today night or tomorrow morning. So please make sure that you review that recording so that you get the whole picture. Okay. So I'm just going to start the session with a quick question. I want everyone to participate in this. If you don't participate, it will become a boring exercise and you won't learn anything. Okay. Okay, the first question is, what is report and what is documentation? What is the difference between report and documentation? Can you raise your hand? If you know the answers, you can either explain documentation or report or both. Okay. So can anyone tell me what is a report and what is a documentation? You can give it a try. There is no right or wrong answer. Yes, very good. I have a volunteer, Vishnu. Okay, Vishnu, I am allowing you to talk.
Hello.
Yes, Vishnu, please.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma. Solunga.
Report is nothing but என்டையராக நம்ம வந்து பண்ணியிருப்போம் இல்லையா, ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்டோட என்டையர் மீன்ஸ் லெவல் 0லேருந்து ஒரு லெவல் 10 வரைக்கும் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணியிருப்போமோ அதோட ப்ரொசீஜர்ஸ் அண்ட் ப்ரோக்ராம்ஸ் அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறது ரிப்போர்ட், அந்த மாதிரி சொல்லலாம் மேம். டாக்குமெண்டேஷன் ஐடியா பண்ணதில்லை.
ஓகே, ஸோ நான் இப்போ சொல்றேன் உங்களுக்கு.
ஓகே
see, a documentation. Okay, Saroja attended yesterday's class. I will give her a chance. Saroja, நீ பேசு. I am unmuting you. Can you explain to us what is a report and what is a document? Saro? can you hear me? Hello, Saro? Okay, while Saroja connects, let me give a quick review on that. Document is the recipe. Okay, think of this as a recipe. Okay, a document is a recipe where you say step 1 I did this, step 2 I did this, step 3 I did this. On the other hand, a report is the final dish. Okay, it is a record of what happened after you followed all the steps. Vishnu, நீ சொன்ன மாதிரி level 1 to level last இத வந்து என்னென்ன ஸ்டெப்ஸ் பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது டாக்குமெண்டேஷன். அந்த ஸ்டெப்ஸ் பண்ணதுனால என்ன ஆச்சு அப்படின்னு சொல்றது ரிப்போர்ட். விஷ்ணு புரியுதா? விஷ்ணு, is it clear? So technical writing is broadly split into two categories. One is documentation. Very good, Syed. Very good, Syed. Report means final output about what we did. Yes, very good, Syed. So technical writing is into two types. One is documentation, another one is reporting. Documentation refers to what we did at each step. It is a detailed description of our process or activities. Whereas reporting refers to the output of what you did. Okay. So that is documentation and reporting. I am repeating it in Tamil for the benefit of everyone. Document technical writing என்பது இரு வகைப்படும். Documentation மற்றும் reporting. Documentation என்றால் நம்ம என்னென்ன ஸ்டெப்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஃபாலோ பண்ணி ஒரு வேலையை செஞ்சோமோ அந்த ப்ராசஸ் வந்து டாக்குமெண்டேஷன். எஸ், வெரி குட் சரோஜா. டாக்குமெண்டேஷன் இஸ் a process we did. Very good. On the other hand, reporting என்பது நாம் செய்த வேலையின் வெளிப்பாடு, output. Okay, a report is nothing but it is the reflection or presentation of the output that we got. Okay, is everybody clear on this? Okay, I'm just going to continue with yesterday's example. Okay, and then we will proceed. So yesterday we took a very simple example. Okay, it is the number of hours a person spends at office for different activity, right? So we said he will come and check in into the office and settle down for 1 hour. Then he will do testing for 2 hours. Then he'll do coding for 2 hours, and then he'll do documentation for 2 hours. He'll take a 1 hour break and he might be in a meeting for 1 hour. And this is the graph for this particular data. Now you have to create a report and a documentation. Yesterday I created both. Okay. Please refer to the video from yesterday's session once it is uploaded. Right, I'm just walking you through the report. This is the report we created yesterday. Okay, so in a report you will just say, you will have a proper title and a proper description, right? For example, this report is called the daily work status report. Okay, and it has all the relevant details of the author, the company name, date, etc. And it has a very fixed structure. There is a heading, there is a subheading, and there are paragraphs. Okay, so in the paragraphs you describe what is the report about. Okay, and there are some highlight points which you see here inside this box, right? So the report can contain a graph or a figure, right? And it can also contain some tables. In this report I have not added the table, but reports can also contain tables, figures, graph, etc., etc. So this is a formal way of writing a report. Okay. Yesterday we started with the concept of documentation. I said, okay, not only report, you can not only giving the result report, you can say, you can talk about the process. How did that report come? It is the outcome of some steps that you follow, right? If you write that steps in a big paragraph, from morning what did the employee do, it looks like a very big paragraph, right? It looks like, okay, it is a large paragraph. I read and different people read it and make different meaning, right? On the other hand, if you take um, a documentation, one of the main components of a documentation is to describe each step. Okay, so one very important tool for documentation is we save this. Okay, one of the important tools for better documentation is a flow diagram. Yesterday I drew this diagram from scratch. You can refer to the video. For now, I'll just tell you, insert shapes. This will give you all the shapes that you need. Okay. So whenever you want to describe a set of processes, then you use the flow diagram. Okay. Now, when I say I'm going to present a flow diagram, it tells what happens at each step. And it also tells what is the sequence or the order in which things happen. So for example, this flow diagram tells that first the person checks in, and then he checks what are all the daily tasks that are assigned to him. Then he starts with coding. Once he completes coding, he creates test cases to test whatever code he has written. If the test case execution is a success, then he proceeds with documentation. If the test case execution is a failure, then he goes back to recheck his code and re-execute the test case. And once the test case is successfully executed, he will document it and then he will present it in the meeting, after which his work stops. So a flow diagram has a very important advantage. The advantage is that, I will be able to draw a flow diagram simply only if I understand what it is. Okay. Okay. Is it clear? Any questions? Any questions? I'm coming to the window. Okay. So I presume that no problem, Saroja. You can just keep interacting on the QA. Okay. Any questions? Can I proceed with the next thing? Okay, we are going to practice now. Okay, I want everyone to please take your rough note, and I want one volunteer who is willing to help all of us with this. Okay, volunteer. Volunteer. While I write I'm writing the question on the notepad. While I write the question, I request a volunteer to please raise a hand. We have a big process here, and someone is going to help us to draw the process diagram. Okay, this is the scenario. I want someone to help me with drawing the flow diagram for this. Volunteers. Who wants to volunteer? Please raise your hand. Today's session is going to be a little short because it is a Friday and I don't want to put you through a long, lecture. Okay. We will roll up at 7. So we have just half an hour. I want to give 2-3 example problems to understand flow charting. Who wants to try? Who wants to learn? Am I audible? Can I pick somebody from the team? Can we have someone? Okay, let me see who. Gayatri, do you want to try? Gayatri, Kanimori, Kannadasan. Syed, Rahul, Ramya, Sarojini, Shatra. Who wants to try? Okay, I'll just pick someone at random. Let me see. Sai Praveen. Sai Praveen. Sai. Sai Praveen, are you there? Sai. Guys, please raise your hands. Okay, someone has raised. Sneha, very good. You raised by mistake, is it? Okay. I'll wait 1 full minute for someone to participate. Okay. Gayatri, shall I unmute you? Gayatri.
Good evening, ma'am.
Gayatri, can we try?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Kana. Okay. So this is the problem. Now the problem statement ஒரு side வச்சுக்கலாம். I'll just resize the window. I'll resize this window so that okay. Text you konjo, I'll make it little smaller. Okay, text தெரியுதாமா full-ஆ?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Okay. Now we are going to take word on the other side. Okay. We'll go to a new page. Okay. I'm going to keep this also in a smaller version so that we are able to draw together. Okay. நீ கரெக்ட் தப்பு பத்தியெல்லாம் இப்ப கவலைப்படாத காயத்ரி. You just tell me what we should do. Okay. I will quickly tell you because you were absent yesterday. Oval shape is for start and end. Rectangle is for all the intermediate steps. And a diamond shape box, rhombus is for decisions. Yes, no, other which நீ எதா பண்ண போறனா diamond shape box. Okay. I will help you, don't worry. So let us start. So a thread occurs. So first வந்து first step என்ன?
Start.
Very good.
Oval shape.
Very good. So இப்போ நம்ம என்ன பண்ணிருக்கோம்? Start பண்ணிருக்கோம். Right? Start. Okay. Next அடுத்தது Gayatri.
Yes, ma'am.
Next என்ன பண்ணோம்?
I think diamond shape.
நீ வந்து டைமண்ட் ஷேப் போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி உனக்கு டவுட் இருந்தா நீ வந்து இஃப் அந்த லைன் ஏதாவது இருக்கான்னு பார்க்கணும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட்.
Ma'am,
Are you
it is
sure
within
it's
the,
diamond?
if save the process ends.
Good. So அப்ப டைமண்ட் ஷேப் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம்.
Yes, ma'am.
ஓகே, சோ டைமண்ட் ஷேப் எடுத்துக்கிறேன். ஓகே, சோ இதுல வந்து occurrence of threat ன்னு போட்டுக்கலாமா?
Yes, ma'am.
threat ன்னு போட்டுக்கலாம். ஓகே, இப்போ threat நடந்துச்சு. அப்புறம் என்ன பண்ணோம்? எஸ்னா என்ன பண்ணும், நோனா என்ன பண்ணும்? அது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நீ சொல்லு.
Email triggered to notify executives, ma'am, if it is yes.
ஓகே, நோனா
Or management holds an emergency meeting.
ஐ
No, எது சொல்லல ma'am.
நல்லா படிச்சு பாரு, நோக்கு சொல்லிருக்கு.
If threat is real, an email is triggered to notify executives.
கரெக்ட். இங்க பாரு, if save the process ends.
Yes, ma'am.
ஓகே, இப்போ நீ வந்து இந்த த்ரெட் பாக்ஸ்ல இருந்து நீ சொன்னது எல்லாமே ரைட். ஓகே, ஆனா
Yeah.
இதுல வந்து நம்ம ஒரு 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 ஸ்டெப்புக்கும் we should give space. ஓகே, சோ இப்போ நம்ம செக்யூரிட்டி டீம் வந்து த்ரெட்டை இவாலுவேட் பண்ணணும். கரெக்டா? நீ சொன்னது ரைட். த்ரெட்டா இருந்தா வேற ஆக்ஷன், த்ரெட்டா இல்லனா வேற ஆக்ஷன். பட் பிஃபோர் தட் there are two things that we should tell. Okay, first occurrence, one second, occurrence, reoccurrence of threat. Okay, threat occur ஆன உடனே நீ டைரக்டா டிசைட் பண்ண போறது இல்ல. threat occur ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறமா you have the security team. Okay, sorry, இந்த பாக்ஸ் இப்ப வேண்டாம். You have the security team, security check for threat. Okay, இப்போ இதுக்கு மேல நீ சொன்னது எல்லாமே கரெக்ட். ஓகேவா? சோ இப்போ நம்ம என்ன சொன்னோம்? எஸ் த்ரெட்னா என்ன பண்ணோம்?
Email is triggered to notify executives, ma'am.
Very good, very good. So email is triggered. email மட்டும் தான் ட்ரிகர் பண்றோமா? அடுத்து வேற ஏதாவது ஸ்டெப் இருக்கா?
Management holds an emergency meeting.
சூப்பர், வெரி குட். ஓகே, இது ஒரு நிமிஷம். ஓகே, எமர்ஜென்சி மீட்டிங் அவ்வளவுதானா? வேற ஸ்டெப் இருக்கா?
The permanent solution is proposed.
Very good. Permanent solution is proposed. அவ்வளவுதானா? வேற ஏதாவது இருக்கா?
Final complete, ma'am. So we have to stop this with overshift.
Okay. So I have to insert the oval again for stop. Okay, stop. இப்போ இது வந்து த்ரெட்டா இருந்தா, த்ரெட்டா இல்லனா என்ன சொல்லிட்டாங்க? இப்போ செக்யூரிட்டி டீம் செக் பண்ணுது, அது த்ரெட் இல்ல. அப்ப என்ன சொல்றாங்க?
If the save process ends.
Very good. சோ இப்போ நம்ம இந்த கனெக்ஷன்ஸை வந்து இப்ப கத்துக்க போறோம். ஓகே, இப்ப நம்ம ஸ்டெப்ஸ் மட்டும் வரைஞ்சிருக்கோம். நெக்ஸ்ட் கனெக்ஷன்ஸ் கத்துக்க போறோம். சோ ஃபார் த பேசிக் ஃப்ளோ, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒரு த்ரெட் நடக்குது அப்படின்னா அது வந்து செக்யூரிட்டி டீமுக்கு இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்றோம். செக்யூரிட்டி டீம் வந்து செக் பண்றாங்க. செக் பண்ணும்போது இஃப் இட் இஸ் a threat, ஓகே, இங்க வந்து இஃப் இந்த இஃப் பாக்ஸ் கிட்ட எப்பவுமே யூ ஹேவ் டு ஹேவ் a descriptor, right? If threat is true. Okay, threat true இருந்தா email வந்து trigger ஆகுது, அப்புறமா வந்து emergency meeting happens, and then you also propose a solution, a permanent solution, and then the process stops. On the other hand, if the threat is not true, okay, if the threat is not true, none of this will happen. இது எதுவுமே நடக்காது. So if the threat is not true, directly the process will end. Okay, இந்த arrow control இது issue இருக்கலாம். Okay. Right. இப்போ the threat is false. Okay. Yeah, the threat is false, then directly the process stops because there is no action needed. Okay, but புரியுதாமா காயத்ரி?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the pictorial representation of a sequence of activities that you use inside a document. Okay, in the step clear இருக்கா?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good, very good, ma.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, Kanna. So that was Gayatri who participated very well. So I have one more example for which I want your participation. Who is willing to participate? Let me type the question. Meanwhile, you can raise your hands if you want to participate. I want participation from you people. I'm typing out the second question. Okay. Who wants to try now? We have an interesting process where we want to represent using a flow diagram. Who wants to help me on this? I have a hand raised. Very good, Vishnu. Vishnu,
Yes, ma'am.
can we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, let me go to a new page. me take a new page. Let me go with the new document. Yes. Okay, Vishnu. Tell me, what is the first step?
First step is start.
Okay. Start. Okay, we will say start. Okay, next. அப்புறம் என்ன ஃபர்ஸ்ட் என்ன பண்றாங்க?
So they are sending
HR
legal document, sends the employee the legal document to sign.
Okay, so first இத வந்து நம்ம ஒரே சென்டென்ஸா சொல்ல வேண்டாம். We can split it into two. First வந்து sharing of legal documents the employee. Okay, so இப்போ ஷேர் பண்ணிட்டோம். அதுக்கு அப்புறமா
If the documents are correct, the management will be approved, ma'am.
Okay, அப்ப இப்போ நெக்ஸ்ட் என்ன பாக்ஸ் வரணும்? ரெக்டாங்கிளா?
Rectangle, ma'am.
ரெக்டாங்கிளா இல்ல டைமண்டா?
Rectangle.
ரெக்டாங்கிள்ல என்ன சொல்லுவ?
So yes or no, ma'am. Condition statements.
Or no boxனா அது டைமண்ட். Okay.
Yes.
Rectangle is for normal steps. You are checking yes or no. நம்ம டைமண்ட்
Yes or no. Diamond.
Okay. So அப்ப இந்த டைமண்ட்ல நீ என்ன செக் பண்ற?
Whether the document is approved or not, ma'am.
இல்லலாமா?
By the
approved or notன்றது இதுல இருந்து வர அவுட்புட். ஓகேவா?
okay.
So நீ இதுல ஆக்சுவலா என்ன செக் பண்றனா, are the documents correctly filled? பாரு. என்ன எழுதிருக்கு? The HR and management approve the documents if they are correctly filled. So கரெக்டா fill ஆயிருக்கா இல்லையான்னு செக் பண்ணனும் நம்ம. ஓகே.
Okay.
So அது வந்து இந்த ஸ்டெப்ல நடக்குது. இது வரைக்கும் புரியுதாமா?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now once suppose அவ வந்து கரெக்டா fill பண்ணிருக்கானா நீ அடுத்து என்ன பண்ணனும்?
Correctா fill பண்ணிருந்தா HR shares the news of the new hire to rest of the companies.
Okay, share the news of new hire. அதுக்கப்புறம்
And
அதுக்கப்புறம்
office manager get a new employee ready for work with supplies.
Very good. So 1 minute. So the next step is manager.
Office manager gets the new
Employee
ready for work
ready
with ready.
for work. Okay. சரி அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன ஆகுது?
The new employee gets its access.
IT information technology. அதாவது இந்த டோர் இந்த ஐடி கார்டு அதெல்லாம். ஓகே.
And end the process.
A new employee gets IT access. அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன ஆகுது? முடிஞ்சு போயிடுது. கரெக்டா?
Stop.
So we stop. Right. So we stop the process. So இப்போ இது வந்து டாக்குமெண்ட்ல கரெக்டா ஃபில் ஆனா, டாக்குமெண்ட் தப்பா ஃபில் ஆனா என்ன ஆகுது? The documents are
Resubmission. So
Very
the documents are getting back to employee and to resubmit.
super. Very good டா. So இப்போ நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டாக்குமெண்ட் ஷேர் பண்ணுவோம். அதுக்கப்புறமா வந்து அந்த டாக்குமெண்ட்டை வெரிஃபை பண்ணுவோம், ரைட்? அதுக்கப்புறமா வெரிஃபை பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமா we will if the documents are correct, நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம்னா we tell them okay, if documents are correct, நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம், we tell him to we tell that this person has been newly appointed in our office.
Okay.
அப்புறமா நம்ம வந்து the manager gets that person ready to work, and then the IT department gives him the access, and then the process stops. இதுவே அவன் கொடுத்த டாக்குமெண்ட்ல இஷ்யூ இருக்கு, அவன் சரியா ஃபில் பண்ணல அப்படின்னா we give the document back to him to refill. Okay, so அப்ப நம்ம நோவா இருந்தா திருப்பி இங்க கொடுக்குறோம். ஓகேவா? சரியா?
Yes, ma'am.
சரியா? சோ இதுதான் ப்ராசஸ். உனக்கு புரியுதா விஷ்ணு?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Very good, Vishnu. Good.
Thank you.
Okay, that was very good participation from Vishnu and Gayatri. Very nice. Okay, so now we have learned how to create document flow diagram for a particular process. Okay, now the question is, for each of the process that we will have a diagram, but documentation is not about the diagram alone. Okay, apart from the diagram, okay, you have to make sure that you explain the diagram. So இப்போ வந்து the diagram வந்து is like a எப்படி சொல்றது, யூடியூப் வீடியோக்கு ஒரு thumbnail இருக்குல்ல, அந்த மாதிரி. Okay, we why do we use thumbnail in YouTube videos? Why do they use thumbnail in YouTube videos? யாருக்காவது தெரியுமா? Does anyone know? Why do you use thumbnail in YouTube videos? Okay, someone is raising hand. Okay, Rahul. Yes, Rahul, I'm allowing you to talk. Why do we use thumbnail in a YouTube video? See, the thumbnail. Okay, Shalini says to get reach, Syed says preview. Very good. The thumbnails are a way of attracting people. Okay. Very good. Who said attract? Very good. Very good, Vishnu. Okay, so a thumbnail is your way of attracting, right? So whenever we do present a document, எல்லாருக்குமே அந்த ஃபுல் டெக்ஸ்ட் ஒரு 50 பேஜ் டாக்குமெண்ட் இருக்குன்னா அதை ஃபுல்லா படிக்கிற பொறுமை இருக்காது, ரைட்? ஸோ அப்போ குவிக்கா அவங்களுக்கு புரியுற மாதிரி சொல்றதுக்கு இந்த டாக்குமெண்ட், இந்த ப்ராசஸ் டயக்ராமு, there are few other diagrams which we will learn. Okay, the process diagram, data tables, adalla useful are, right? So we have done the first step. Ana and the first step mattum oru formal documentation ku podadu. You have to highlight each of the steps. Diagram la irukra oru part-ayum nalla explain panni solla theriyum. Okay, for example, let me take one of the documents. In the employee onboarding process இருக்கு. Okay, so இப்போ இதுல வந்து நிறைய ஒன் லைன்ல சொல்லிட்டோம். லீகல் டாக்குமெண்ட் அனுப்புவோம், அதை வந்து செக் பண்ணுவோம், ஓகேவா இருந்ததுன்னா அவனை வந்து ஹையர் பண்ணிட்டோம்னு எல்லாருக்கும் இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுவோம், அண்ட் அவனுக்கு வந்து ஆக்சஸ் கொடுப்போம், ட்ரைனிங் கொடுப்போம், எல்லாம் கொடுப்போம், ரைட்? இப்போ I need to write this as a formal of steps. So how do I start? Yeah, I want everyone to pay attention. We will finish the session with this example. I just want everyone to pay attention. Okay. Right. So now I will start with a very simple explanation. Okay. Let me. Okay. The new employee onboarding. New employee joining formality. This. அப்படின்னு ஒரு heading வச்சுக்கோங்க. Okay. We can just say new employee joining process. Okay. Right. So இப்போ நம்ம எப்படி எழுதணும்? The employee, new employee joining வந்து formula word that means new employee joining is onboarding. Okay. I'm using that word. The employee onboarding process involves the following key steps. Step 1. Legal document collection. Step 2. Document verification. 3. New hire communication. 4. Supply access. Step 5. IT access. So these are the steps. Now, how will I elaborate this and write? Okay. So I will say legal document section. Again, first or heading போட்டுட்டு I will elaborate that. I will say the new employee will share all the relevant legal documents for formal verification by the company. The legal documents include the following. என்னென்ன legal documents? Identity card, mark sheets, degree certificates, right? Previous employment letters, salary slip, right? So these are the different documents. So that I want you to pay attention to one thing. The diagram here does not tell those details. Diagram just says share legal documents with the employee, right? So here we will get all of their legal documents, and from our side we will share more legal documents like company confidential form, or இத வந்து ஃபார்முலா எப்படி சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா non disclosure agreement. நான் வந்து இந்த கம்பெனியோட எந்த சீக்கிரட்டையும் வெளில சொல்ல மாட்டேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்ற ஒரு லீகல் ஃபார்ம். Then insurance form, then accounts form. Okay. So these are the common legal documents that they ask for verification, right? So the first step is to gather these legal documents. The legal documents verified by the HR team to identify relevant information. This is how detailed you should write each step. Okay? Is it clear? I don't want to keep talking on one side, so I'm just coming back to you. Is it clear? Am I clear? Folks, am I clear? Am I clear, guys? Okay. So now you have to take the subsequent steps and start, explaining each of that. A documentation is like I said, a recipe book. You should tell what is in it, how much of it is in it, right? And how much is not there. Okay. All of this should be reported. So just because you know what are all the steps that is involved in a particular work, it is not enough if you draw or write only that. You need to be able to explain each step in detail. And in certain software, companies, you should also have a warning or disclaimer section where you say what to do if something does not work. Whenever we see in large buildings or in big malls, right, there is always some information on where is the emergency exit. How do you go there? What is the route? There is a map at different places. Same way, we have to make sure that the map that we have is explained clearly to the people. Okay? So, one way of doing it is starting with the flow diagram. The flow diagram is a very strong tool to empower the reader. Right? So when you want to write in detail, you elaborate each activity in the flow diagram. If you say, I will collect document, in the documentation you should explain what are all the documentations I will collect. If it is a legal document, some documents will not be applicable for people who are not Indian. How will you manage that? Right? So these kind of detailed description of each step is called documentation process. Is it clear now? Any questions? Okay, I'll just give a quick review of what we did in today's class. In today's class, we learned how to go and create a flow chart for different processes. So for different processes, the flow chart differs. You will have decisions at different points where you will branch out if something is true, if something is not true, and so on. Right? On the other hand, the flow chart is just a tool to get quick attention to what you are coming to say. So the details lies in writing whatever you have drawn. So for a single box, you might have to explain a lot in multiple pages. It may be a more detailed step, right? So for this reason, we explain each box using a topic subtopic structure. Okay. So with this, we have just started off with formal documentation writing. In the coming sessions, in the upcoming sessions, we will proceed with documentation and reporting. And in the coming week, we will wrap up documentation and reporting. I have a raised hand. Gomati, you have a question? I'm allowing you to talk. Okay. Gomati has raised hand by mistake. Okay. Fine. So that is the content for today. Any questions? Any comments? Anything that I could do better to help you? Any questions? I'm going to wait for another 2-3 minutes. Any questions? Was the session useful? Okay, I have one person who says, okay. Okay, fine. So in the next session, I want you all to quickly respond to one question that I have. Do you want me to teach you basic Excel and Word? Will that be useful? You can just say yes or no in the chat. Do you want to learn Excel and Word? Okay, I'm just getting 1 or 2 responses. Only if I get more than 5 to 10, I can do. Okay. Syed and Vishnu says it will be useful. Okay. So I'll. Okay. Rahul says no, ma'am. Sandhya says yes. Okay. Shalini also wants to know. Okay. We will go through a quick review of what you can do with Excel and Word. Okay. So that will be also covered in the next week. That will be an interesting thing because you can learn it through some gamified methods. Okay. So today we have just stepped into the level 2 of documentation, which is a flow diagram elaboration. Okay. So tomorrow we will, on Monday, we will continue with the next steps of documentation and reporting. And also we will take a quick look into Excel and Word. You will have your regular MCQ test tomorrow. So please make sure that you attempt it. This is a golden opportunity that you have. So please make a use of it. Okay. I will be very happy if at least the regular people here walk out very confidently at the end of these sessions. Thank you for your participation. Have a good weekend. Relax. Focus on preparing yourself for a better week. Thank you. I hope the session was very useful to everyone. Please let me know if I can improve on something. Thank you so much, people. Have a good day. Karthi?
Yes, ma'am.
We can stop the recording.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Ma'am,
you.
are you taking next session or enough totally?
Illama. I have not given them break. So we have already completed 1 full hour. So let us not.
Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.